Welcome back to the Demetria Obilor Show. Guys, it is my 20th episode ever, and so we're going to do things a little bit different today. If you've been sticking with me for a while now, you'll remember my 10th episode was a Q&A, getting to know me, your host, Demetria Obilor, a little bit better, and so that is exactly what we're going to do today. And I asked all of you guys who watch and listen to my podcast to ask me questions, okay? And so I got this nice little bowl here again of all of your questions that I cannot wait to answer. So without further ado, let's just get into it, right? You think the Chiefs won the game, or did the Bengals lose it? Of course the Chiefs won the game. We're going back for that three-peat baby. Okay, Mahomes is that guy. He's played a couple of rough games. But you know what? I think he's going to come back harder than ever against the Falcons because we just cannot go out like that. So this one, I'm going to put a little timestamp on it. The Bengals, they got to do a little bit better than that if you want to beat the, back-to-back champs. What are you going to do? A win is a win is a win. And a lot of people were upset about that pass interference call. But the thing is it was a pass interference. So, I don't know what to tell you. Don't let the Chiefs win by penalties. Don't let the Chiefs win like that. You got to come snatch it from the champions. That's what I always say, at least. If you're trying to dethrone the champs, you got to come take it from them. All right, Coop wants to know, are the Dallas Cowboys already doomed this season? Oh my gosh. Well, when you let Alvin Kamara go off for 4 touchdowns, it's like, where is the defense? 44-19, and it's the Saints? And you guys, if you've been watching my podcast for a long time, I have this thing about Derek Carr and Dak Prescott because there was a time where they were the two promised QBs. They were going to take both of those teams to Super Bowls, all of this crazy stuff. Haven't seen it yet, but man, Derek Carr really showed Dak Prescott up on this one, guys. But the defense, what is going on? Cowboys, I did not expect that. It's the postseason that the Cowboys generally have problems with, so this was kind of just unexpected. And then to do it at home when they already had a 16-game winning streak at home? Nobody was beating them at AT&T Stadium, and so now a lot of problems. And so if they cannot defend well against the Ravens, and the Ravens are definitely out for that get back because they do not want to start their season 0-3. Ugh, embarrassing. Nobody ever thought that. And then to lose to the Raiders, and I love the Raiders, but going into the season, there was nobody who was saying that the Raiders were going to beat the Ravens, and so that's crazy, but maybe it's just Gardner Minshew who has Lamar Jackson's number. I don't know. He beat him last year when he played for the Colts as well. So his record officially against Lamar Jackson is 2-1. So shout out to those Raiders for sure. Raiders definitely deserve that win. How far do you think the Vikings can go this year? Ooh, okay. So if you recall earlier on in the season in my podcast, I talked about Sam Darnold. Could he do it? And you know what? He's looking like he can with this last game, man. That Sam Darnold to Justin Jefferson touchdown. Crazy yardage. That's what you want to see. So I'm really happy for him. Let's shake things up a little bit. We got somebody asking me what I prefer between boxing and UFC. Okay. Oh, that's a toughie. Okay, so the critique about boxing is that a lot of these guys aren't picking the best of the best in the sport. But now the exception to that is Arthur Beterbiev, who's going to be fighting in October. He's going to be fighting against Bivol for the unified light heavyweight title. And the thing is that's going to be probably the best fight of the year because Arthur is insane. If you don't watch boxing, you definitely need to go and watch Arthur Beterbiev and his fight against Marcus Brown. That was freaking insane business. I'm betting on Arthur. I think he's going to win. But UFC is so violent and it's crazy. That Noche night over at the Sphere. I don't know why I didn't go to that. I should have bought tickets to go to that. But I mean, those fights, I feel like you get a lot more instant gratification. And I mean, it's a really cool sport. I really watch both. This past weekend, I had the Canelo fight on, and then I was watching the Sean O'Malley fight, and he lost. But I was watching all of that, and it was I had him on both screens because it's I want to see what's going on. But I feel like a lot of UFC fights are more entertaining these days, so there's that. All right. Okay. What is your favorite destination vacation? Well, as you guys know, I love to travel. I'm a big solo travel person as well because I don't believe in waiting for other people for you to start living your life. I'm very big on that and I'm very impatient. So I just feel like if I want to go, I'm going to go. So without further ado, favorite, it's hard for me. I'm kind of indecisive about these things and there's still a lot of places I haven't been yet. But to see that I've been to Bali twice in 2 years, I feel like Bali is definitely a place that I love to go. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think that it's really easy to get around Bali as well. I love that because, you could be on the beach or you could be in the party area. You could be in the rainforest with all those natural, beautiful sounds and just lush greenery and monkeys. in 45 minutes. In a lot of other countries, Thailand, for example, I mean, if you want to go to the beachy areas, you're going to have to fly there. But Thailand is freaking gorgeous as well. Like, go to Phuket, Bangkok, that's a flight. That's not a drive. So, I mean, oh man, it's really, really, really tough. But I feel like Bali kind of has all of it. You just have to travel so far to get there. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough. Favorite is hard, but I feel like since I visited Bali like back to back now, it's like crazy, but it really truly is gorgeous. And I felt really safe there as a solo female traveler as well, which was really big to me because when I go to places like that, I want to do a lot of sightseeing. And so I just went on to TripAdvisor and booked a tour through there, and everybody was really, really kind. And it's a place that heavily relies on tourism, so they don't want anything bad to happen to you. And it just was so much fun. They took a million pictures for me. Nobody believed that I went alone because I had so many pictures. That's how friendly my tour guide was. So definitely tip those tour guides. They work really hard for their money. All right. What's your favorite city, state, or country you've ever visited? Okay, so that was a little bit similar there. I really love Florida because I love jet skiing, okay? I like Miami for that Biscayne Bay. Oh my God, it's so nice. It's so smooth when you're on those jet skis, so you can just hit optimal speeds, and it makes me feel like I'm in GTA. But country, that's so tough to me because it's like, I really love going back to Nigeria and seeing my family, and there's just a smell in the air. There's just certain things that sometimes I get here in the States and very reminiscent of Nigeria. Like if somebody's cooking something, burning something outside, it's just like, oh, I feel like I'm waking up in Nigeria. The fruit tastes better. I mean, that's true for a lot of other countries outside of the US, but it's just such a unique experience. There's absolutely nothing like it. And so, I mean, I love that, but I really do love Southeast Asia. Thailand, I just went there for my birthday in March, and it was just super amazing, super gorgeous. I was in Phuket at Maya Bay, and it was just astounding. It didn't look real, and the pricing of everything is really reasonable, so it's really nice. It just costs a little bit more to get out there, but once you're out there, I feel like that dollar really stretches. The massages are amazing. I felt like I had a massage every single day. I'm big on massages, and here they cost me anywhere between $150 to $250. Out there, it was like, $19, $20, something like that, so not bad at all. All right, this person asks, when am I going to be in London? I've been to London before on my way to Nigeria. I'm going to play at I'm going to stop. I don't know. I don't know the next time I'm going to be in London because it's like I've been there before. So now when I travel, I want to go to places I've never been. And so it's like London, since I've already checked that off the list. But I think it would be really fun to go to London and have like a pub crawl or something like that. So I might have to do that soon. This person asks, have I ever been to South Carolina? No, I have never been to South Carolina. I have family in North Carolina. But yeah, I need to check out South Carolina because that's still the South up there. So I'm sure you guys have some pretty good food, but I hear that coast is really gorgeous. One day I will make it to the Carolinas. Oh yes, the classic question. Are you single? I feel like I've answered this so many times. Everybody always wants to know this one. Yeah, I'm single. I don't really have much else to say about this. Yes, I'm single. What are you going to do with that information is what I want to know. What are your favorite Parfum de Marly fragrances? Ooh, I am a fragrance person, and I definitely have Delina, and I always get so many compliments about it. I only have the regular one, the regular Delina, not the vanilla one. But for the men, I don't actually know the name of it for the men. It's in a green bottle, but it smells kind of spearminty. I would definitely get that for my boyfriend. I really like that one a lot. I always go to smell it if I'm at Nordstrom or something like that at Saks. I'm like, let me smell that green one again. Let's dig back in here. Okay, some ASMR for you guys right there. Another question. What do you like to do on the weekends? Ooh, I like to go to the movies. Okay, I still like to go to the movies, and maybe I'll import some snacks, but I don't mind spending my money at the movies. I'll blow a bag at the movie theater. I really love getting my popcorn with jalapenos, and I like doing things like going to Dave & Buster's when the weather's really nice. I love to go hiking. I love to travel on the weekends if I can get away. Spa days are a must as well. I love to spend time with my family. You'll always find me around my family for sure. And then another question here. What's the biggest lesson you learned from your last relationship? Oh, what a great question. Oh, you know what? It's always important to learn something, right? Everybody's a lesson, right? I guess I would probably say when somebody folds on you, I guess when someone shows you who they are the first time, and this person folded on me the first time, they'll fold on you again. And for me, I'm a person who embraces pressure. Like, I can take the heat, all right? Like, I can balance a lot of things, okay? And for me, it's like, this person couldn't take the heat. Like, when things got hard, couldn't handle it. And I'm just like, I'm here to be supportive. I'm here to be caring and loving. And I don't get it. Like, for me, I'm always like, but sometimes people, they can't do the balancing act. They can't do the balancing act. So it's just like, I guess the biggest lesson is, don't date somebody who folds under pressure. Okay, I like this one. Is it still possible to find genuine love out here, or are we all screwed? Oh I don't think we're screwed. I think it is tough to find people. I don't think social media made it easier on anybody. Because I feel like we're just submerged in everybody's negative experiences, and you're thinking that's going to happen to you. A lot of people are afraid. I don't believe in having fear when you're trying to date people, right? I feel like you got to be vulnerable. You got to be yourself. And if somebody doesn't appreciate that, then they're not worth your time. So I do believe it's still possible to find genuine love. I mean, I've cared about people, but I can't say that I've found 100% genuine love that's lasted and all of these kinds of things. But that doesn't stop me from putting myself out there and being the best version of myself and wanting to find the best version of somebody else, for me anyway. But I do think that is, don't just get stuck on what all this negative stuff people are saying online about how girls only want guys with $1 million and guys only want girls who look a certain way. I don't really think that's true. I don't think the internet is necessarily a real reflection of how everybody feels. It might be everybody's worst thoughts, their most anxious, nervous thoughts that they're just getting out there because they're popular and they know that people are going to retweet them and things like that. But in reality, I want to believe that people aren't as bad as everything that we see online. Yes, there's some bad people, but there also are good people out there. And so you have to believe that you're going to find them. Otherwise, if you're looking at everything with a negative lens, I mean, I feel like that's all that you're going to attract is negativity. If you're already looking to find the worst in somebody, you're already off on the wrong foot. That's how I feel. For me, I like to see the best in people. And has that bit me in the butt before? For sure. But it's like, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I like to have open communication and say, hey, this is how I heard something. Is that how you meant it? A lot of people don't like that either. But the thing is like, maybe that person's not for you. If somebody can't communicate with you, then, what's the point of this relationship? That's my 2 cents. I'm sticking to it. All right. This person asks, what do I think about Capricorns? Well, being an Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, and as a fellow ram, goat, horned being, there can only be one horned being at the top of the mountain. No, I'm just kidding. Capricorns are cool. My youngest brother's a Capricorn. Sometimes me and him get into it because we're both really headstrong and stuff like this. I've actually dated a Capricorn. That was kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I just feel like everything's rooted in good communication. If you're a good Capricorn, you should be able to communicate well. So, I mean, I'm sure there's some great Capricorns out there. That Capricorn, I guess, just wasn't meant for me. All right, let's shake things up a little bit here. Let's get in here. How can I get a date? Well, I'm going to take that as more of a general question, okay? Because I don't know you, so I don't know how you'd get a date with me. But I think that when you want to date with a woman, it's always best to ask plainly and politely. I hate when people beat around the bush. It's like, I know that it's natural to be shy. You have to approach somebody. You're always going to be faced with rejection. But I think that's the beautiful thing is if you're confident. There are plenty of people who've come up to me and I'm like, I'm seeing somebody or something like that. But I never just turn them down nasty. Like, you don't have to be like that. If anybody does that to you, by the way, that's their problem. That has nothing to do with you. And that shouldn't dissuade you from approaching people in the future. Because I think confidence is really key. And I always respect when a man comes up to me and is like, hey, are you seeing anybody? Can I take you out? And I'm just like, if the answer is a no, it's a no. But I just always appreciate somebody operating from a point of confidence. And so I'd say that. And, maybe take a couple of deep breaths if you're nervous before you do that. But I think that you should always ask, because what's the worst thing somebody could say to you? No? I don't think anybody was put on this planet to hear no a couple times and then just fold entirely. Like, I don't believe in that. So I feel like keep asking. If you get no's, you get no's. One day there will be a yes, and it'll be just for you. Okay. Let's get back in here. Let's mix things up. Some more ASMR here for you. Okay. What is the best water? Essential or spring water? I'm guessing you mean Essentia or spring water. Honestly, I mean, depending on where I'm at in the country, like I can do tap water. Give me some tap water with some ice and give me a little bit of lime. But if it's some nasty tap water, and there's some states that have really bad tap water, I don't want any of that. Get me a bottle of water. And I know there's this huge thing between Dasani, Aquafina. I can't drink Dasani, all this. I'm like, I can drink any type of water. Like I can drink any type of water. But if I'm usually buying water, I'm buying that gigantic jug. I forgot what it's called. It's just huge. You'll see it with me at the gym sometimes, and it's just gigantic. And so all water is good water. You need it for living. Okay. Ooh, this is interesting. No, I am not a smoker. I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't vape. I don't do any of that. I don't think it's good for you, but in the same, breath, I don't judge anybody who does it. Like, I don't mind if you do it. I've got friends who like to smoke weed, but me, I don't like to smell like weed. I like to smell like my fragrance that I spent so much money on. So I was like, hey, you gonna smoke it over here? I'm gonna be over here. Okay. Do you even eat the food you be promoting, or it's just for adversity? Okay, I think you meant advertisement. No, it's not for advertisement. I hit these places up. And the thing is this, if I find something to be nasty, like I just don't review it at all. Okay, like if I don't like it, I don't say anything about it. I don't want to get on here and bash people's businesses, you know? So if I ate the food and I said, dang, this is really good, like I meant that, okay? Now, can I always guarantee that every time you go there, the food is going to be exactly the way that I got it? No, okay? Sometimes I go to McDonald's and the fries are cold. Sometimes I go and they're amazing. They're amazing. Okay, you know how it is with food, okay? But you can always say, hey, this isn't to my liking. Can I get another one? You know, come on. I mean, I saw it on Demetria's page. Can I get it like that? I mean, I'm sure that they would adjust it for you as long as you're nice and polite. So, no, I don't just do things for advertisement. And I think that's why a lot of the time you don't see me just promoting random things. If I say that I like something, I like it. Can I guarantee that you like it? No. But am I going to sit here and lie to people and have them spend their hard-earned money? No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that, okay? Because I'd be pissed if somebody did that to me, okay? And my credibility matters. Okay. I get you work out. But how do you stay in such great shape with the way that you eat? First of all, how do you know the way that I eat? You see me take a bite of some of this food at these unhealthful restaurants. But in reality, I eat a lot of Chipotle. I eat a lot of brown rice and chicken. I take bites of the food. I don't eat that whole thing. There's no way that I could just engorge and do all of that. Like what I usually do is have the food, and then I'll take home the rest to my family. Like, hey, do you guys want to try this? But there's no way that I can just sit there and do that whole mukbang thing that some of these people do. There's no way. I'm 5'4". Like that weight would sit a whole lot differently on my frame. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I've been heavier than I am now. So, you know, but the thing is this is like, no. And I definitely do a lot of working out. I do a lot of cardio. If you guys have really been following me, you've been with me from the beginning, you know that I lifted crazy heavy weights. I think I even have a YouTube short, definitely on my Instagram if you keep scrolling, me lifting, squatting crazy weights and stuff. So, you know, and now I just focus on the cardio to kind of slim down, do a few leg days, all of that. But yeah, I work out, but I don't eat crazy like that. These are not mukbangs that I'm doing. Favorite Mexican food, more foodie questions. I like this. Oh my goodness. I love some good homemade enchiladas. Oh, verde. Okay. I like rojo too, but it's so good. And I just love when somebody makes it for you, somebody's mom or abuelita. But enchiladas, oh my gosh, because the corn tortilla, it's so good. It just does something to me. This person asks, have you ever thought about doing street vendor reviews or Native American fry bread? Oh, I love that you mentioned that. Okay, so of course he's talking about my foodie series, Demetria Eats. Thank you guys so much if you've been watching it on social media. It's doing pretty good, so I really appreciate your support. And if always, you know, if you have any suggestions, always let me know. But yeah, I would love to do more street vendor reviews, but it has been really hot outside. And I'm like, bro, I cannot take my camera outside and get to recording. It will overheat. But now as things are starting to cool down, you'll probably see me at some of those spots. I have some in mind. And it's funny that you brought up Native American fry bread because one of my brothers is engaged to a woman who is Paiute, and she has made fry bread, and I've only got a taste of the leftovers, and I had to reheat them, but it was so good, so I can only imagine what it would taste like fresh. But she doesn't make it all the time, so you have to catch her when she does, and I've been missing out lately, so I would love to have some Native American fry bread. I think that would be amazing. This person asks, favorite Nigerian food, and if you guys know me, you know very well that I am Nigerian. It is in my name, my last name Obilor, or Obilor, like that. You know, I have middle names that are Nigerian too, Chino. So, you know, and other stuff about me as well. But I would say my favorite Nigerian food is probably a soup that my dad used to make for us all the time when we were kids, okra soup and fufu, absolutely delicious. I like it with the gari type of fufu. And so, yeah, we grew up eating all sorts of good food and everything. I also love jollof rice. You can make it a little spicy too. I can definitely take that. And I do like egusi as well, but okra, all in all, my favorite. What part of Nigeria are your ancestors from? What tribe and religion? It's a little bit more recent than I guess I'd say my ancestors. My grandparents both lived in Nigeria before they passed away. I have aunts that lived there, uncles that lived there, so it's a little bit more close to my immediate family, and I visited Nigeria many times since I was a little baby. My tribe, Igbo tribe, so Kedu, I'll have to ask you, right? A traditional greeting, how are you doing? You respond, Odema. And religion, yeah, Catholic. Do I like to play video games? Yes, I like to play video games. I'm actually probably gonna buy a PS5. I want to start to do some fun like streaming and stuff and get back in touch with like Call of Duty and things like that. My brother kind of stole the joy from me when I was about 14 or so when we'd be playing video games because he was so good. He would just kill us on Halo, Juggernaut. It was crazy. But I mean, I'm a kid who grew up with like Super Nintendo. We had N64, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, Dreamcast, GameCube, all of that. And so we had some great times, you know? I mean, I loved playing Mario Party on Nintendo 64. I loved GoldenEye, and it was a 4-player game. I've got 3 brothers, so there's 4 of us. And I mean, I loved PlayStation, Tomb Raider, Crash Bandicoot. I mean, I love any Mortal Kombat game. I love the wrestling ones too, WWF. I used to play with my girl Black China. There's so many. I mean, Crazy Taxi on Dreamcast, that was fun. The Sonic game on Dreamcast was really cool. Yeah, we never got Sega. So when we finally got Dreamcast, it was like, yeah, Sonic, Knuckles, all that fun stuff. And then, what else? Kingdom Hearts, PlayStation. I mean, come on. We had all those games. Kingdom Hearts, that commercial, by the way. One of my favorite commercials of all time. Okay, what's the last book I've read or am I currently reading? The last book that I read is called The Color of Law. It's actually sitting right behind me. And the premise of the book is essentially explaining the government's role in segregation today and the past 100+ years since Reconstruction. And so that book is really important because it fills in a lot of missing gaps that you never learn in school, explaining, well, why is it that a lot of Black people live in these projects versus suburbs? And why is it that there's a lack of Black equity when it comes to home ownership? And there are real explanations for that, and there are real laws that went into effect that prohibited people from basically attaining wealth, Black people. And so it's really, really important, and it answers a lot of questions based on facts and evidence, multiple cities, and it's written by a guy named Richard Rothstein. You should definitely check it out. The next book that I want to read, one of my friends recommended it to me. It's called The Anxious Generation. It's a New York Times bestseller. Once again, I really love reading my nonfiction. I'm guessing the book is about why everybody's so anxious, so I'm curious to read it, and you know, I love being able to have these little morsels of information as it informs my opinion here on my podcast as well, right? And another book that I really, really love, and I always encourage people to read, I haven't even finished it, but we studied it when I was in college, Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. I mean, it won the Pulitzer Prize. That book right there is an anthropological work, and it basically explains why the world is the way that it is, why certain countries came into power faster than others, because as you know, there's this idea that, oh, certain races of people or certain groups of people, oh, they're less intelligent, or this is based on some kind of stereotype, all of this, and that is all BS. And that book breaks it down with facts and shows how the migration of people, the lack of natural resources, all of that informed the world in its current state. So that right there is probably 1,000 pages worth of book. It's also back there. And it's amazing though. We broke it down and studied. I wrote a paper on it and I love it. And it's always great to go back and just read. This person asks, if you had a day where you could do anything you wanted, where and what would you do? Oh man, I'd want to be with my favorite people, and I'd want to start the day off smoothly, maybe go to the gym first and then go do a spa day after that, get a nice relaxing massage, have an amazing, healthy but extra delicious lunch, and then I would want to go to Dave & Buster's or a theme park or something fun like that. I don't know if we could fit it all in the same day. Then have a movie night at the end with some really good popcorn, some candy, some pull and peel Twizzlers. Yeah, just a bunch of fun stuff. Or instead of the theme park, go to a haunted house. I'm from Kansas City originally, and we have some amazing haunted houses out there, the Edge of Hell, the Beast, and they are so much fun. I am always down to go to a haunted house. I am your girl, okay? All right, let's see. Okay, we're down to our last 3. Woo, this has been fun. Okay, I'm glad that we got to do this again. Ooh, okay. What's my favorite car? Ooh, cars. Okay, I love cars. I've loved cars from a very young age. There was a time when the Ford Explorer back in the 90s looked so cool to me with the Eddie Bauer coloring, the black with the tan. And then I loved the Jurassic Park Ford Explorer in the movie. I loved that car for so long, but now, I love the fancy stuff. I love the Rolls Royce. The doors are so heavy on that thing, though. I love Lamborghinis. I've always loved Lamborghinis. So cool. But man, these Teslas, it's hard to imagine that a Tesla can outrace a Lambo. That's so sad. I like, what else do I like? Yeah, those are like my favorite cars. I mean, yeah, they're really expensive. I got to get up there one day, but I do like those flashy sports cars that are really, really fast. I love that, just being able to cut past all the traffic. I really loved Range Rovers for a really long time too. They've kind of changed the design of them, and as I've become older, I'm like, are they super functional? I don't know. Like if I bought one, I'm like, that thing needs to work and not break down. Okay. And thank you also, Joshua. You said that I'm a breath of fresh air. I really appreciate that. And have I thought about being a professional actor? Yes, I'm still working on that. So bear with me. It ain't easy. Okay. Last question before we end here. When you were little, what was your favorite cartoon growing up? Oh my gosh. I am definitely a cartoon kid. We were fortunate enough to have cable. Oh man, so I watched a lot of Nickelodeon. I watched a lot of Cartoon Network. I watched a lot of PBS. We watched everything. But my favorite cartoon, gosh, that is too difficult because there's Dexter's Laboratory, there's Rugrats, there's Rocket Power, there's Cat Dog. But if I had to pick like my favorite show, I really loved Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps. And I know those aren't cartoons, but I mean, I liked Dragon Ball Z. I have 3 brothers, and so there was always this fight. They wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z. I wanted to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? So it was really hard for me sometimes because I'm like, So then it kind of made me hate Dragon Ball Z for a while. And then it's like those long fight scenes where they're just like powering up. I'm like, I'm like, bro, how many like 20 minutes of that? Like, come on. But Pokemon, oh my gosh, Yu-Gi-Oh! We had some great ones, man. I know I'm not thinking of all of them right now, but I love Sailor Moon when that would come on. Oh man, there were some good ones. Case Closed with Conan. That's some anime for you. But I loved watching TV. I can't lie, man. I loved Happily Ever After on HBO. I love those stories, and I'm a big Disney kid at heart as well, so I've seen all of them. Oh man, I was so sad to hear that James Earl Jones had passed. And it was really crazy because a few days before he passed, I tweeted out Mufasa's death was probably the saddest death in cinematic history, in my opinion. And he dies. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But man, his voice, so iconic. Darth Vader, all of that. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones. You will be sorely missed. Really a titan of an actor. But speaking of movies, yeah, nobody asked me about my favorite movies. I won't say my favorites, but I think somebody I had spied anyway had said, like, what's your favorite genre? And I always say I love horror movies, but I love gangster movies too. I love dramas. I love that There Will Be Blood, No Country for Old Men, the real classics. I mean, anything with Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh my gosh, so good. That actor. Oh, freaking amazing. But I mean, I love Batman. I love DC movies. I love Marvel movies. I mean, I just love movies. I'm telling you, I really love movies. So anyway, this has been a lot of fun. Continue to send me questions, and if I see them, I'll answer them. And, a great way to contact me is through the comments section on my YouTube videos. But thank you guys so much. This has been such a fun 20th episode for me. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I can't wait to see you guys back here next Thursday. Until then, I hope you have an amazing week. Bye-bye.